The story is about Derek, who saw two men having sex. He had never seen that before, but before he could go away, the men noticed him and grabbed him. Chapter 1. The arrival. Derek stepped out of the cab and took in the sights and sounds of Las Vegas. The bright lights, the neon signs, and the bustling crowds were overwhelming. He was here to attend a friend's wedding, but he decided to stay at the casino for a couple of days before the ceremony. He checked into his room and freshened up before heading to the casino floor. The sound of the slot machines and the chatter of the players filled the air. Derek loved the thrill of gambling, and he spent hours playing blackjack and roulette. As the night wore on, he started to feel like he was being watched. He turned around to see a man staring at him from across the table. The man had piercing green eyes and a sly grin. Derek felt a shiver run down his spine. He decided to leave the casino and go back to his room. As he walked down the hallway, he heard footsteps behind him. He turned around, but there was no one there. He quickened his pace and made it to his room, locking the door behind him. Derek tried to shake off the feeling of being watched, but he couldn't. He decided to call it a night and get some sleep. Chapter 2. The encounter. The next morning, Derek woke up feeling refreshed. He decided to take a walk around the casino and explore some more. He wandered into a dark corner of the casino and found a door that led to a secluded area. As he pushed open the door, he heard the sound of moaning and groaning. He walked into the room and saw two men engage in sexual activity. They looked up at him and beckoned him over. Derek was taken aback but also intrigued. He had never been with another man before, but the sight of these two men was turning him on. He walked over to them, and they started to touch him. Derek closed his eyes and let himself go. He was enjoying the moment, but then he opened his eyes and saw the man with the green eyes from the night before standing in the corner, watching them. Derek pulled away from the men and started to back out of the room. The man with the green eyes stepped forward and blocked his path. He had a wicked grin on his face and a menacing look in his eyes. Chapter 3. The escape. Derek was trapped. He didn't know what to do. The man with the green eyes was closing in on him, and the two men he had been with were now on his side. They were touching him, trying to lure him back into the sexual activity. Derek knew he had to escape. He pushed the men away and tried to run past the man with the green eyes, but he was too quick. The man grabbed Derek and dragged him into a nearby room. The room was dark, and Derek couldn't see a thing. He felt the man's hands on him, groping him and trying to remove his clothes. Derek fought back, hitting the man and trying to break free. Suddenly, the lights came on, and a group of security guards burst into the room. They separated Derek from the man and took him to safety. Derek was shaken but grateful to be alive. He realized that he had come dangerously close to being the victim of a horrific crime. He left the casino that day, vowing never to return. The memory of that night would haunt him forever. Derek spent the rest of his time in Las Vegas in a daze. The excitement and thrill of the city had faded away, replaced by a feeling of fear and unease. He tried to put the incident behind him, but he couldn't shake the feeling of being violated and used. As he attended his friend's wedding, he couldn't help but feel like he was still being watched. The man with the green eyes had left a lasting impression on him, and he couldn't shake the feeling that he was still out there, waiting for him. After the wedding, Derek returned home, but he couldn't get back to his normal routine. He was plagued by nightmares and couldn't sleep. He found himself constantly looking over his shoulder, worried that the man with the green eyes was following him. Finally, he decided to seek help. He went to a therapist and talked about what had happened to him. It was a difficult and painful process, but it helped him to begin to heal. Over time, Derek began to feel more like himself again. He started to go out with friends and enjoy life. However, he never forgot what had happened to him in Las Vegas. It had left a permanent mark on him, and he knew that he would never be able to forget it. One day, he received a letter in the mail. It was from the casino in Las Vegas, apologizing for what had happened to him and offering him a free stay at their resort. Derek tore up the letter and threw it away. He knew that he would never set foot in that place again. The memory of that night would always haunt him. But Derek knew that he was strong enough to move on. He had survived a horrific experience and come out the other side. He was determined to live his life to the fullest and not let anyone else take that away from him. Years passed, and Derek's life had moved on from that fateful night in Las Vegas. He had found love and support from his partner, and they had built a happy life together. However, the memory of the casino and the man with the green eyes still lingered in the back of his mind. One day, Derek's partner surprised him with a trip to Las Vegas. At first, Derek was hesitant. He didn't want to relive the past, but his partner convinced him that it was time to face his fears and move on. As they walked through the city, Derek felt a sense of nostalgia mixed with dread. He couldn't help but remember the night that had changed his life forever. They walked past the casino, and Derek felt a chill run down his spine. He wanted to keep walking, but his partner urged him to go inside. Reluctantly, Derek agreed, and they walked into the casino. The sound of slot machines and the chatter of the players filled the air, and Derek couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. However, as they walked through the casino, he started to feel a sense of closure. The memory of the man with the green eyes no longer held power over him. Derek realized that he had been strong enough to overcome his trauma and move on with his life. As they left the casino, Derek felt a weight lifted off his shoulders. He knew that he would never forget what had happened to him, but he also knew that he was stronger than his past. As they walked through the city, Derek looked up at the bright lights and the neon signs. He smiled, knowing that he had come full circle. Las Vegas had been the site of his worst nightmare, but it had also been the place where he had found the strength to overcome it. Thanks for listening. If you liked it, please let us know in the comments and give a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If you like to get notified when we upload a new story, please turn on the notification bell. Bye, till the next story.